What if the secret to better health wasn't just about adding foods to your diet, but actually about what you leave off your plate? Imagine walking through your local grocery store, filling your cart with the usual favorites, while quietly, doctors everywhere are steering clear of certain items you might be eating every day. What are these foods, and why have the experts turned their backs on them? Today, we're diving into the surprising list of 10 foods that doctors never eat, and why you might want to reconsider them too. Most people believe that healthy eating is about salads, smoothies, and superfoods. But here's an interesting twist. Many of the foods that seem harmless or even healthy may have hidden dangers lurking beneath the surface. From seemingly innocent snacks to restaurant staples, the very foods you trust to fuel your body could be sabotaging your health in ways you never imagined. What's even more fascinating is that these aren't obscure, hard-to-find items. They're right there, front and center on the shelves, bought by millions every single day. So, what exactly are these foods? Why do so many medical professionals avoid them at all costs? And most importantly, how could cutting them out transform your health? Let's unravel the mystery together, starting with the first food on the list. Number 1, processed meats. Think about deli slices, hot dogs, bacon, and sausages. These products are everywhere, often marketed as convenient protein sources. But here's the catch. They're loaded with preservatives like nitrates and nitrites, chemicals used to enhance flavor, color, and shelf life. Experts warn that these additives have been linked to an increased risk of certain cancers, particularly colorectal cancer. In fact, large-scale studies have found a consistent association between high consumption of processed meats and chronic diseases. It's not just the additives, though. It's also the high sodium and saturated fat content, both of which can contribute to heart disease and hypertension. So, it's no wonder doctors have these foods on their personal never list. Number 2, sugary breakfast cereals. They may look harmless, colorful, and even fortified with vitamins, but many breakfast cereals are essentially sugar bombs disguised as a healthy start to your day. Some varieties contain as much or more sugar than a candy bar per serving. This can lead to rapid spikes in blood sugar, followed by crashes that leave you feeling tired and hungry again. Over time, frequent sugar highs and lows can increase the risk of insulin resistance, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. Despite flashy labels promising whole grains and essential nutrients, doctors know that these cereals are far from a wholesome breakfast. Number 3, soda and sugary beverages. Sodas, sweet teas, energy drinks, and even some fruit juices are packed with added sugars, sometimes more than your recommended daily intake in a single bottle. Here's the jaw-dropping fact. Studies have linked sugary beverages to increased risks of obesity, fatty liver disease, type 2 diabetes, and even heart attacks. The sugar in these drinks is absorbed rapidly, causing blood sugar spikes and triggering a cascade of metabolic problems. That's why you'll rarely, if ever, see a doctor sipping on a regular soda. Number 4, artificially flavored snack foods. Chips, cheese puffs, and similar snacks are engineered for addictive crunch and flavor. But at what cost? These foods are often made with artificial flavors, colorings, and preservatives, ingredients that have raised red flags in health research. Some artificial dyes and flavorings have been linked to hyperactivity in children and potential carcinogenic effects. The combination of unhealthy fats and simple carbs in these snacks also provides little to no nutritional value, leaving you hungry for more. Doctors understand that these empty-calorie foods offer no benefits and plenty of downsides. Number 5, margarine and hydrogenated oils. Once hailed as a heart-healthy alternative to butter, margarine made with partially hydrogenated oils is now recognized as a source of trans fats, which are linked to increased risks of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Even small amounts of trans fats can raise your bad cholesterol and lower your good cholesterol. While regulations have reduced the presence of trans fats in many products, some brands and processed foods still contain them. That's why doctors are careful to read labels and avoid anything with partially hydrogenated oil. Number 6. Canned soups and instant noodles. These pantry staples are known for their convenience, but they're often loaded with sodium, sometimes more than your recommended daily limit in a single serving. Excess sodium can raise blood pressure, contribute to heart disease, and strain the kidneys. Many instant noodles also contain preservatives and unhealthy fats, making them a double whammy for your health. Doctors opt for homemade versions with fresh ingredients to avoid these hidden risks. Number 7. White bread and refined grains. White bread, white rice, and other foods made from refined grains have been stripped of fiber and essential nutrients during processing. What's left is a product that's quickly digested, causing rapid increases in blood sugar and insulin levels. Over time, such spikes can contribute to weight gain, insulin resistance, and increased risk of type 2 diabetes. Doctors favor whole grain options, which provide more fiber, vitamins, and a steadier source of energy. Number 8. Fried foods. Whether it's French fries, fried chicken, or donuts, foods cooked in hot oil are problematic for a few reasons. Frying at high temperatures can create harmful compounds such as advanced glycation end products, AGEs, and acrylamide, both of which have been linked to inflammation and increased risk of chronic diseases. Fried foods are also high in unhealthy fats and calories, making them a recipe for weight gain and cardiovascular problems. Doctors know that even occasional indulgence can add up over time. Number 9. Flavored yogurts and prepackaged desserts. While yogurt is often seen as a health food, many flavored varieties are loaded with added sugars, artificial flavors, and thickeners. Prepackaged desserts, marketed as low-fat or healthy, can be just as bad, often compensating with extra sugar or artificial sweeteners. Excess sugar intake has been connected to obesity, diabetes, and even mood disorders. Doctors stick to plain, unsweetened yogurt and add their own fresh fruit for flavor. Number 10. Microwave popcorn with artificial butter flavoring. Microwave popcorn can seem like an innocent snack, but many brands use artificial butter flavorings that contain diacetyl, a chemical linked to lung problems when inhaled. The bags themselves may be lined with chemicals called perfluorinated compounds, PFCs, which have been associated with hormone disruption and increased cancer risk. Doctors avoid these risks by air popping their own popcorn and using natural seasonings. But what do the experts say about these foods? According to Dr. Sarah Williams, a leading nutrition specialist, many of these foods are engineered for taste, convenience, and shelf life, not for health. The additives, excess sugar, and unhealthy fats found in these products can have cumulative effects on our bodies, leading to chronic inflammation, metabolic disorders, and more. She emphasizes that while occasional indulgence is unlikely to cause harm, making these foods a regular part of your diet can set the stage for long-term health problems. Dr. James Carter, a cardiologist, adds, "When we look at populations with the lowest rates of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, we see diets that are naturally low in processed foods, refined grains, and added sugars. The evidence is clear that what we leave out of our diets can be just as important as what we include. Why, then, are these foods still so popular? The answer lies in a combination of aggressive marketing, convenience, and the addictive nature of sugar, salt, and fat. Food manufacturers design products to hit the bliss point, the perfect combination of flavors that keeps you coming back for more. Unfortunately, what's good for the bottom line isn't always good for your health. Now, you might be wondering, if these foods are so problematic, what should you choose instead? The answer is surprisingly simple. Doctors recommend focusing on whole, minimally processed foods. Think fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, nuts, and seeds. Cooking at home gives you control over ingredients, reducing your exposure to harmful additives and excess sugar or salt. And when you do reach for packaged foods, reading labels carefully can help you avoid hidden dangers. Here's a little-known fact. Many of the diseases linked to these foods develop silently, with no obvious symptoms until they're advanced. For instance, high blood pressure and insulin resistance can progress for years before you feel any different. That's why prevention, through smart food choices, is so powerful. Still curious about what other everyday foods might be affecting your health? Here's a hint. Some health foods can be surprisingly unhealthy when you look past the packaging. Granola bars, veggie chips, and flavored waters may all seem like better choices, but many are loaded with sugar, sodium, or artificial ingredients. Always check the ingredient list, and when in doubt, opt for foods that are as close to their natural state as possible. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by all the conflicting nutrition advice out there. But the message from medical professionals is consistent. Prioritize simple, whole foods and make processed treats the exception rather than the rule. Remember, your health is built on the choices you make every day, not just the occasional splurge. Imagine the impact of swapping out just a few of these foods for healthier options. Over time, you may notice more energy, better digestion, improved mood, and even a stronger immune system. And the best part? These changes don't require expensive supplements or complicated diets, just a commitment to being mindful about what goes on your plate. Let's recap the 10 foods doctors never eat. Processed meats, sugary breakfast cereals, soda and sugary drinks, artificially flavored snacks, margarine with hydrogenated oils, canned soups and instant noodles, white bread and refined grains, fried foods, flavored yogurts and pre-packaged desserts, and microwave popcorn with artificial butter flavoring. Each one carries hidden risks that experts avoid for the sake of their long-term health. If you've recognized some of your favorites on this list, don't worry. Change doesn't have to happen overnight. Start by making small swaps. Choose whole grain bread instead of white, drink water or unsweetened tea instead of soda, and reach for fresh fruit instead of sugary snacks. With each choice, you're investing in your health and well-being. And here's something to ponder. What other foods might be lurking in your kitchen that even the experts avoid? The journey to healthier eating is full of discoveries, and every step you take brings you closer to feeling your best. The next time you find yourself reaching for a processed treat or a sugary drink, remember the advice of the experts. Ask yourself, is this food helping me or could it be holding me back? Your health is in your hands, and every meal is an opportunity to make a positive change. So, as you plan your next grocery trip or meal, think like a doctor. Choose foods that nourish, protect, and sustain you for the long run. The path to better health isn't about deprivation. It's about empowerment through knowledge and mindful choices. And now that you know which foods the experts avoid, you can make informed decisions to support your best self, one bite at a time.